Didn't it look silly watching James Harden guarding Blake Griffin? Blake Griffin is finished out there. Him and you see how Blake Griffin looks? DeAndre Jordan was never Blake Griffin. He was never as good. And Blake Griffin is not very good now. He's done out here. I keep repeating myself, sorry, but it's just, that's all I see. I'm looking at this guy and going, oh man, this dude used to jump over cars and shit. Like, he's not jumping over Tonka trucks now. It's the players running the organization is how we end up with Shumpert on the roster. What is Shumpert gonna do to fix this? He's another 6'4", 6'5" TLC Treveon Graham Nwaba. Even going back to Booker, Booker was an undersized power forward. This is foolishness. And we're asking these players to do these things, and then we want to come out and talk about effort. Let's just forget effort. Effort is esoteric. Effort you can't measure. You can't count effort. You know what you can count? 80 points in the paint. 80 points in the paint means you're not tall enough. 40 points in the first half, 40 points in the paint in the first half for a team that only scores 44 points in the paint. I'm pretty smart. I'm not going to sit here and try to be modest and say, I'm not that smart. No, I'm smart. For what I do in my career, when you go for a job interview, first thing they do is give you an IQ test. I know I do pretty well on them. But I'm not qualified to run an NBA team. But if you follow me on Twitter, look at the players that I've been saying that the Nets should get to add to this team. Beyond Aaron Gordon. Long before, when Christian Wood was on 10-day contracts, I was saying that kid Christian Wood could be your next Spencer Dinwiddie, Sean Marks. Go get him. No, he added Jared Dudley. No, he added Treveon Graham. I'm not saying Julius Randle would have did anything, or even that Julius Randle even fits on the Nets. But the Nets was so devoid of size, I was like, all right, fine. Julius Randle, go get him. Look what he's doing for the Knicks. Guy after guy. The last guy that I would begrudgingly say, all right, yeah, I guess he could help. Noah Vonleh. He's now on the team. This is unbelievable, Sam. Please. I can't believe in that effort thing. Cause I played basketball on a 9-foot rim. And when you back down a 8-year-old kid, you're just dunking on him. That's basically what the Nets are, is a bunch of Lilliputians trying to guard the Jolly Green Giants of the NBA. Why am I wrong?
No, I mean, I think what you said, you actually changed, you've actually changed my mind a little bit, in the sense that I think effort is more something you can talk about when all the kids are around close to around the same height, and it's just like who wants it more, and maybe that's what you're dealing with once your son's rec games come back, but you're right. Like, as it pertains to like an NBA game, like the team is just honestly like super. I mean, the team is small, and like they don't really have bodies, and the fact that the fact that they look this bad consistently when KD doesn't play, when they have like two other stars, and like, I mean, look, no one else was really like missing. I mean, obviously like the Dinwiddie stuff, but that we've become used to. Like, I mean, this is like
fully healthy team.
Like this team had two, like this team had 2 stars, and like there are plenty of teams that are playing right now that would have taken the Nets roster over their own roster playing today. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, this is
I'm telling you, the Karras, Jarrett, and the guys that they lost, even with Torian, I miss Torian Prince. Can you believe that? That team made more sense than this team. That team needed bigs too, but at least you had the tools to go get what you really needed. Right?
Yep.
You're like someone who goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, you know, you've got diabetes. You can't fight diabetes with a banana split. You're not gonna deal with your sugar if you add more sugar. And
Yep.
and that's what the Nets did. We were a great offensive team. We were top 3 in the league and just getting used to each other. You could have taken those assets and just got a good 4 and saw how that rocked. But now it's like frantic because the reality is, and all these Nets fans talking about, hey, you know what? Maybe we need an off season. Maybe we're gonna be like the Heat. We're gonna go to the finals, we'll lose one, and then next year we'll win one, and then we'll re-sign all the guys again, and then we'll win 1 out of 2 again. We'll be like the Heat. We're so far from what the Heat were from the beginning. The Nets are way like the Heat. Don't even say the Heat with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. There's no Bosh on the Nets.
It's not even that. I mean, like honestly, like that honestly is almost too nice to the Nets. The comparison, and like I remember me and you were tweeting this constantly, and it's look, I thought there was no way that the Harden trade would ever happen, so I was
because it makes no sense. If you have some damn sense, if you're not playing 2K and you're running an actual NBA franchise and you got 75 years of basketball to know that you need defense to win championships, how many failed Mike D'Antoni teams do you have to see that to understand that you can't win if you can't get stops?
Yeah, and like so the truth is that the comparison with the Heat is so ridiculous because in part, and this is why I always thought the comparison was so idiotic, is because when those guys got together in 2010, those were 3 guys that were not only in their prime, just like career wise. Wade was, I guess, like nearing starting to hit the or past the peak, but still at the end of it. But
they were younger than what Kyrie is right now.
But the difference is that those 3 guys at their worst are all way above average defense. Like LeBron and Wade, when like especially in 2010, were first team all NBA type defense guys. They just didn't really get the awards that much because they would understandably take off games, and they're not trying to. That's not how they make a living. They're not doing the Tony Allen thing of like
D Wade was a great defender. LeBron, great defender. Bosh, great defender.
And you can make an argument that Durant, who's the best of our big 3, isn't even as good as any of the 3 that were on the Heat's team.
Close.
And so the idea that the idea that these teams are similar, or the idea that it could work, is ridiculous. And also it's ridiculous because the 3 guys that they put together are also unbelievably ball dominant. And so Wade, who was always a slasher, ended up like finding his way of working with LeBron, and he kind of did the Jeter like I can take a little bit of a back seat when A-Rod came over type of thing. But like and Bosh obviously completely changed his entire role. These 3 guys are still kind of playing their game.
But even beyond that, Durant is a big shooting guard.
Yep.
Kyrie is really a shooting guard. Harden is a shooting guard. I know he's our point guard he's the lead guard. He's bringing the ball up, but really he's a shooting guard, right? And
he should be shooting more, to be honest.
I We'll address that. So, but the Heat, you had power forward, natural small forward, natural shooting guard. And they could do other things, and they were great at other things, but the pieces made sense. Kyrie and Durant made sense. Harden and Durant made sense. But the three of them basically creates a chain reaction of problems throughout the lineup, which is why I thought there's no way we are going to have Sean Marks basically execute the Brooklyn beat basketball plans. Brooklyn's beat. What's up, homie? Of basketball plans. And gut your team and give you no exit out. Like, I still think we could win a championship.
Yeah.
I still think that you could make this thing work. But if I was the GM, and I know what you said, Sam, nobody's getting traded, nothing is going to happen. You're right. Nobody's getting traded. But I'll be honest with you. If I was the GM, I'd be trying to see what I could get for one of Harden or Kyrie. Which one do you like more, and which trade package is the best? Because if you think this is not going to work, you have to pull the ripcord now. Because next year, their value, all of them, all three of them, their value is going to start to plummet. And your choices are going to start to end. For me, like, let's say if I believed in this whole thing, and I did the Harden trade, I felt I had to do it. If I'm looking at this and I'm looking at my ability of what might come on the buyout market, and I want to stop hearing about the buyout market. There's not a miracle. The Easter Bunny will come in March before the type of player to fix this mess is going to come. Now, Vonleh might do something, but Vonleh at his best is like 9 points a game, 7 rebounds. Don't get it twisted on what Vonleh is, and focus, Nets fans. If I was doing this, I would basically go, you know what? Who needs Harden? Get all my picks back and get a player that can fix this now. Or get a couple of players that can fix this now, so that this very small window of a title run, that it could be fixed. I don't know if the three of these guys will ever work together in a way which allows them to play defense, because when it's all three of them on the floor, it's super hard to put players that make up enough for having them on defense. In Golden State, those guys sacrificed for KD, and they put 3 legitimate superstars on the floor, with one very good all-star who has been all NBA or second team all NBA, just because he does all the other stuff. He's not a superstar. But you had Steph, Clay, Draymond on the floor with KD, and Clay is a superstar, could score and shoot the ball like nobody's business, but he is also one of the top 5 defenders in the NBA. And on the other side of KD, there's Draymond. See, people look at the 2K part of the team assembly. You can't do that, because complete teams do all phases of the game. Defense is 50% of the game, and we suck at it. So, in my mind, I know it's crazy, but if I'm Sai, I'm starting to look at these 4 years a little bit different. My drastic move, and I know you're going to yell at me, Sam, and it's okay. Please yell at me. Tell me I'm crazy. My drastic move wouldn't be to trade Harden first, because I wouldn't trust Sean Marks to trade for Harden. My drastic move was let this whole year play out. Let all the chips fall in if where they may.